Hey guys, we are back live today, October the 4th. It's a beautiful day and I just made a little post on Facebook here because I found this very interesting little feature. And again, I haven't prepared this video at all. I just did it and posted it, and I want to share it live because I think that one of the things that we are looking at looks like a face seen from the satellite. It's big enough to be seen from the satellite. And how big is it? Well, I measured it in the high-rise JP2 tool I have, where you can that you can use to analyze your satellite images and zoom in and out on. And we have zoomed in about 75%. And this head is measured to be about 25 pixels from the top of the forehead over the nose of the mouth and down. 25 pixels. 1 pixel is 50 centimeter. So if you have 25 pixels length, it will give you about 12.5 meter. So we know this face is about 12.5 meter, which make it on a size with a big school bus. so it's not a tiny little object, but it's not a huge object like the famous Mars face on Mars from the Viking Orbiter catalog. This is a little one, but definitely, yeah, it does look like a face on Mars. And if you're out there watching this face on Mars here, give me a comment here in the comment box. We are live now. I would love to hear what you guys out there think we could be looking at. Is it a new face on Mars? And I had another screenshot from the same satellite image, just a few hundred meters away. Hey Marty Green, fantastic live as always. Thank you, thank you. It's good to hear. Back to the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. You see something in this image here, and it caught my eye. And I'm not sure that my mouse is visible on the screen, but if you look in the middle of that round circle I have pointed out, you will see in the bottom of the crater on the left side that there is like a zigzag pattern with a sharp edge down. It looks like a freaking concrete wall on the edge to strengthen it out, to keep it tough, what you call it, yeah. It looks like it's armored. It looks like there is a wall on there made with a 90-degree angle, and like if that's not enough, there is a round object above it that gives you a shadow, which tells me that here is either a ventilation shaft or a chimney, and this one is about 4 meters in diameter, that little round circle on top of that zigzag pattern on the ground to the left. So 4 to 6 meters wide. So that could be a chimney-sized object. It does create a shadow behind it, so we know it's a raised object and it's tall. So looking at that object that is tall and raised, that are creating a shadow, and then looking down at that zigzag pattern, concrete-like, you see with a straight edge down, you can actually see the wall down. It's so artificial created. And furthermore, it looks like there is a round object. These white dots you see here creates what to me looks like a circle, and it does look like there is a circular round hole entrance, and you're looking at, I don't know, the left of it. It might have been bigger or smaller, I don't know. But one thing I notice is there is no rocks at all in the crater or near the hole. There's rocks everywhere else in the picture, but there's no in there. And I do wonder why, because normally rocks will roll down and there's nothing there. So could it be that that area has kept clear because that is about a 20-meter wide opening you're looking at on the crater wall? I think this is an amazing picture. Hey Steven, good to have you back. Thank you for your comment. We are on Mars, but I'm gonna go back again to the first picture, the face on Mars. What is it that we are looking at? Is it really a face on Mars? I want to take you into my JP2 software that I have ready down here. Let me click on this button, and you should be looking at my JP2 software that looks like this. I got a little delay on my control phone here to control it with, but here we have the JP2 software, and right in the middle we have the face. So I can zoom in and out on the right side here, and we can get even closer. NASA do make some really high resolution satellite images, but remember this picture is taken from a distance of 250-60 kilometers away, so it's quite an amazing zoom we get on that camera on the ground. And again, on the left side, or the right side over here to the right, there is like an area that looks like it's carved out. It doesn't look natural, but if you're looking at the face, let's see how close we can actually go. This is the closest we can go on the software, the absolute closest. Here we have the face in the middle, and I'll show you how we measure it. We got a distance tool, so we take from the bottom of the head to the top, and it goes from 24 to 26. So I would say this one is, as I said before, 25 pixels, 26 pixels long. 1 pixel is measured to be 50 centimeter. So that's how you can measure the size of an anomaly on a satellite image. So we know this one is not a tiny little rock, but just on top of it there is another little thing. There is this, again, 90-degree angle structure, tiny little structure. It wouldn't be more than a few meters, 4 or 5 meters. But again, it has these 90-degree angles. Normally, if I saw that one only the 90-degree angle, I wouldn't think much of it, but just right above what looks like a face, let's zoom it out again so we get a decent view of it. This is the area it is in. And there's so much to it in this area. Right now I've only been looking just around the face, but I see so much else that I would love to dive into again. But is this a new face on Mars? What do you guys think out there? Come on in, join me in the live chat. Tell me, do you think we are looking at a new face on Mars? I think we are. And I think this is a tiny little one, but big enough for, how do you say it, local traffic to see it from the air. I think this is an amazing one. We could be played by shadows, of course, and that was what we was told with the original Viking face on Mars picture, the famous one, that it was just shadows playing and coincidence. I don't think so. I think there's way more to it, and yeah, they knew where the sun will be, and they knew how to create a face where the shadow most of the day would create a face on it as a kind of effect. They were not stupid. They knew what they were doing. I do think that we have something that could look like a face on Mars right in the middle of this picture, guys. So if you like it, please share it. I haven't shared my live stream yet. Here we are live on YouTube, so I love to hear from you guys. And Martin is saying, looks like it has a mask on where its mouth and chin are just showing. Yeah, it does. Yeah. That's true. It looks like it has some kind of mask on, or something. Maybe not mask, but something is covering the bottom part. And I think this is an amazing little thing. The whole area looks suspicious to me. The area looks like it needs to be deeply checked out. I'll leave the I've already left the link on my profile, Thomas Mikey Strøder Jensen, on Facebook. So if you want to check out the satellite image yourself and see if you can find the face, go for it and post a picture or your comment in the comment box on Facebook if you'd like to share what you are seeing. But I definitely think that we are seeing something that resembles a face on Mars, because the size of it's too big to be a coincidence. Steven is writing it could be something from a statue that reminds us of something we've seen from India here on Earth. That is also possible. That's also very possible. Yes, Steve. Thank you for that comment. Yeah, it could be a statue resembling a statue. I like to get it out a little bit again. I know it can be hard to see on a little screen. See, I'm just gonna cover this one over here. Nope, let me get the tool off. So we know this is about 12.5 meters tall, and I would say it's about 10 meters wide. So you can clearly see it. And if you scroll out on the satellite image, I keep it here in the middle. This is where we are. This is our tiny little head. And this is how huge satellite image actually is. So, do you have a feeling now of how big an image we're looking at? It's huge. We are covering miles and square miles after square miles. So finding something like that takes a little while. See, I gotta get back again. And I need to be careful not to click on the picture itself, because then my little link will disappear. It's up there. Let's go get it again. Mars is huge, and I know it's a little bit disturbing when I move it around. We'll get back to it here. Our face. So, is it a new face on Mars? I think it is. Let me know what you guys out there think. I think it's an amazing little one. It could be a trick of the eye. It could be shadow playing. It could be anything. But I think it looks like a face on Mars. Let's go back to... see, let me share my screen again. Here we go. I am on my screen now, and now I need to find my screen myself here. We are on the post on Facebook, and we've been looking at these two images today from the same satellite image. We'll have a look at this one now in just a minute. But this one really caught my attention, because as you can see, there is like this zigzag pattern wall, and you can see from the shadow right behind it that you have a straight edge and a straight drop down, and I think that's amazing, because it tells me definitely there's some artificial structure to it. And when you look at this, it looks, first it reminds me of a huge watermill wheel, but again not. It's about, if you count the black area here, it's about 20 meters wide. So it's not a tiny little object, but it does look like something round. Is it a giant wheel? I don't think so. Is it an entrance? I think it could be an opening inside. And if you look at it in context with this one here, you see artificial construction up here, straight fall down. This is a crater wall. There's no concrete, there's no walls. This is definitely added afterwards. It's so clear to see when you zoom in on it. But yeah, guys, you can see it in here on my Facebook profile. You can find it all there. You can find it on SpaceLink TV. Go in and give it a like if you want to. Marty is writing, cylindrical tower is casting a shadow. Yeah, that was exactly what I said before. There is like a shadow. That's this one here we're talking about. Oh. Yeah. There is a little tower up here, casting a shadow down so cylindrical. And that tells me that we either have a chimney or a ventilation shaft or something big, and this would be about 4 meters wide, 4 to 5, 6 meters wide, not much wider. So what are we looking at, guys? Is it some kind of underground facility we're looking at? This is the kind of where I want to go, because I believe in life on Mars, and I believe we are still up there. I also believe we've been misled all the time, and basically most of what we see is just a play for the theater, for the gallery. When you see NASA pictures from Curiosity and Opportunity and Perseverance, they are real, they are very real pictures. It's not about the authenticity of it, it's real, but it's just play for the theater, because they placed those rovers in areas where they knew there would be no disclosure shown on camera, if you can say it like that. They placed it in dead areas, like if we wanted to go from Mars to Earth and show Earth as a dead planet, maybe there once was life, we would send a rover down to Sahara in the middle where we wouldn't see any humans. And then we would tell our fellow Martians that this is a dead planet, there's nothing but sand here, but we only see a tiny little percentage, not even a percentage of the surface from the rover. So what are we actually looking at? I believe that we could be looking at underground facilities, and I've shown them before in some of my other videos also, where we talked about underground facilities. And maybe if I'm lucky, I have some of it not on my profile, of course, but I have a lot of it. You can find it on, let's have a look here. Will take you to SpaceLink TV, where you also find this one. I'm just gonna take it up in a bigger screen here. Yes. Yeah, what else can I say? Yeah, coming soon on knowledgeportaltv.com. Yeah, we have started a series. We've made the first documentary, about 1 hour long, space junk, about all the junk that we have recorded in space on the NASA STS missions. And some of that is what we know as the Black Knight satellites. So we spent over an hour looking at UFOs from the STS missions, only to conclude that there was so much material, so we had to take the Black Knight satellite out for an episode of its own. So now we got a documentary about 1 hour long, about hundreds of incidents recorded on video, where you actually see the UFOs go flying on the screen, changing directions, speeding up, slowing down, moving. And we're going to dig into that in Space Junk, the documentary. Then we have created Space Junk, the series, and first episode is ready. We are working on episode 2 and 3, and we're going to make 5 episodes. When the 5th episode is ready, we're going to release it. So we will dive into the single incidents in the episode, in the series, of what you have seen in Space Junk, the documentary. So you gotta subscribe to Knowledge Portal TV when we start that. The documentary will be out within the next 2 weeks, and I can't wait. I'm so excited, because we are done with the editing. We only need a little bit of narrating on it, so I can't wait to bring it out to you guys. So that's gonna be very, very soon on knowledgeportaltv.com, and we will still be broadcasting on YouTube. We will still be sharing Mars videos on YouTube, but our documentaries will be taken and streamed from Knowledge Portal TV, where you can subscribe and get all our stuff there. So that's one thing I'm looking forward to. Here's another one I had from yesterday. This is a funny little one. Just looking in the comments here, Martin Green, am I right, they did find water on Mars? Yeah, you are right, they found water on Mars, and we found it years and years ago. I remember we spoke about it in 2014, when we created UFA, United Family of Anomaly Hunters, and I remember Will Farrar, and I remember Brian Hopkins showing pictures, and Rami Bailan, of running water on Mars. And it took NASA further 4 or 5 years to come out and say, yeah, that is actually water. You can see that's coming out of the underground. So yeah, we knew it for years, and it took NASA several years to admit it. So yeah, they did find water on Mars. This picture down in the bottom here, and I had to write it's probably not, because I don't think it's an actual foot. I can see it's a rock, but it's a good one because it deceives a lot of people. It's probably not, but it looks like a leg and foot, and it does look like a leg and foot. But in this case, I will state that I do believe it's a rock, but it's worth to show this rock because it does really look like a leg and a foot caught in between the rocks. So what do you guys think? If you have seen this picture before, please comment in the comment box here on YouTube or Facebook. There was another one. That was a blob from the other day that there's no explanation for. A blob is a blob. And what is a blob? I have no idea what a blob is, and that's why I posted it on Facebook. And it doesn't look like a rock. It looks like 100 sheep balls, poo balls, or whatever they're called, together. Did someone made a Martian poo or something? I don't know what it is, but it is from Perseverance rover, and it's there, but there's no explanation to it. So did we find a Martian poo on Mars? I'm not sure, but it could be. Oh, and we got a lot of pictures that we ain't going through here because that's family pictures. That's for another time, but we have lots of Mars stuff. I did a post about the best of Mars pictures throughout the years. Not all years, but the best pictures since about 2000, when this one came out with the Jupiter 2 UFO. Go in and check them out on Facebook profile as well. We did the connection of Egypt and similarities in images from Mars and Saqqara. I would recommend you to go in and look at that, because we went to Egypt and we went to Saqqara, and then we looked at Gigapan from Mars, and we saw exactly the same structures on Mars as you're looking at right here in this picture, and we proved it. Just have a look at the video, guys. I am about to sign off for now. That was a little live, and it was supposed to be a live about this amazing face on Mars that I think is a face in very small sized face, but big enough to be seen locally if you are traveling local. If you can use that term, and I think you guys know what I am referring to, because Mars wasn't alive. It's still alive, and it is steaming with life up there, and we have no clue about it because we ain't been showed. And these are some of the few pictures that will show you that there are stuff up there that we have been talking about, not only in news but also grew up with, that has been manifested as sci-fi series and thoughts. And now look at this, the face on Mars. It does look like a face on Mars. So where does it come from? Is it just a coincidence? Guys, thank you for watching. Until we see us again, take good care, and remember to go in on YouTube and click like and subscribe and get notifications. And remember that Space Junk, the documentary, will be out within the next 2 weeks. It's almost ready, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna look into hundreds and hundreds of UFOs caught on TV by NASA. Until we see us again, take care.